In our next installment of Hachette's Build a Dalek series, we're assembling the first stages of the Dalek's crowning glory, the Dome. If you've been following along, we subscribe to this 140-issue Partworks collection where you can build a half-size, remote-controlled replica of the Time War Dalek from Doctor Who. In the first 2 issues, we put together the eye stalk, complete with digital dilating pupil, and now we're ready to tackle the next 4 issues in our second shipment. Issue 3 covers the initial parts of assembling the Dalek Dome. The magazine features articles on Skaro, the Dalek's home planet, as well as the very first Dalek story, The Dead Planet. The anatomy section spotlights the Dalek's exterminator gun, and then we dive into the build, the outer dome panels, and the slot for the eye assembly. Fit the upper part of the dome to the lower section, aligning the eye stalk slot on both parts. Turn the dome upside down, fit the 2 connecting pieces, and screw them into place, leaving a slight gap between sections. Take the slightly thinner connectors and screw them across the seam. Then, add the thinnest connectors in the same way. Test fit the first outer dome panel. The raised sockets should line up with the screw holes. Flip the dome upside down and secure with screws. Repeat for the second outer panel. Finally, fit the black eye slot piece. This is a push-fit connection with 6 pegs that should slot neatly into the dome. And that's issue 3 complete. The inner frame of the dome is now assembled with 2 of the outer panels and the eye slot attached. It's interesting how they've realised the dome's grooves and recesses. Rather than simply moulding in the detail like on the on-screen prop, these are separate components with a visible seam between them. Speaking of smooth Daleks, we recently travelled to Melbourne for Sirens of Audio, which brought Doctor Who's own granddaughter, Carol Ann Ford, to Australia for the first time. Also on display was an incredible Dalek Invasion of Earth Dalek by JWC Customs. He retrofitted it specifically for the event, and the level of finish and detail was incredible, even down to the reinforced neck bin as seen in the story. I'm genuinely jealous of his craftsmanship, and it's really made me consider adding another Dalek to the collection. And I do worry these guys get a bit lonely. Issue 4 opens with an overview of various Dalek designs. The episode guide explores Asylum of the Daleks, and the anatomy feature focuses on the Dalek eye stalk. The build covers the eye arm and left energy dispenser assembly, which, let's be honest, is just a fancy way of saying the dome light. These larger pieces are definitely showing the scale comparison between a full-size Dalek and a half-size one. Starting with the dome cowl, push fit the ID tag into place. It would have been great if Hachette had included optional or blind packed ID tag designs, just for a bit of variation. Next, test fit the cowl to the dome, aligning the tabs with the slots and screw securely in place. Moving on to the dome light, or as the magazine calls it, the energy diffuser, slide the clear lens into the light cage and push firmly into place. Then fit the white bulb over the light. With the cage upside down, slide the light assembly onto the pegs and secure with screws. Using the testing circuit board from the previous issues, plug the light assembly in and switch it on. The light should flash. Then unplug. Now attach the light assembly to the left-hand side of the dome. That's the dome's left, your right. Feeding the cable through the hole. Fix it in place with the hex screws and Allen key. Take the eye stalk from the previous issues and slide the open end through the cowl. Fix the eye plate into the end, then attach the cog mechanism and screw into place, running the cable through the recess. Add the fixing plate on the open side and secure it. The instructions suggest fitting the pinions into the brackets shown, though with nothing to hold them in yet, I'd avoid that for storage. Finally, tape the hanging cable into the top of the dome. Hopefully that's only temporary, but a few plastic clips to manage the wiring maybe would have been a clever inclusion. Either way, that's the cowl, 1 dome light, and a nearly fitted eye stalk all in place. Issue 5 delves into the Dalek Civil War, focusing on Remembrance of the Daleks Part 1 and the iconic Special Weapons Dalek. The build continues with more dome panels and half of the right dome light. Test fit the light assembly onto the circuit board first. Fit the bulb, then attach the side panel to the right-hand side of the dome and screw it into place. And that's issue 5 done. Definitely a much shorter one after such an involved previous build. Issue 6 explores Dalek time travel, Day of the Daleks Part 1, and the Gold Supreme Dalek from that story. The build adds yet another outer dome panel, same process as before, plus a single dome lens, which honestly doesn't attach to anything yet, so that's fun. So that's issues 3 to 6 of Build the Dalek. Some solid progress on the dome and exciting to see it starting to take shape. I'm also really impressed with the weight and the sturdiness of the cowl and the dome pieces so far. It's going to be really interesting to see how the motor that sits at the top of the dome is able to rotate with such a heavy metal structure. Issue 7 looks to include another dome panel and the remaining light cage. Hopefully we won't be drip fed one piece at a time because the media issues are so much more satisfying, especially when they arrive in batches of 4. If you're enjoying this series, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.
You will come with us!